Good morning, gang. Happy Saturday morning. So, y'all know the phrase, you can choose your friends, you can't choose your family, right? Okay. And considering what we all do in the prepping world and surrounding ourselves with people that we can count on, some of us can count on family, some of us can't. Okay. Uh, y'all know my estranged relationship with my family, and it's fine. Okay. I get it. But my decisions with my family don't affect you, don't affect anybody. Okay. They affect me. That's it. That's not necessarily the case with some people. I'll explain it. Yesterday was an interesting day for us. PBJ had her white coat ceremony, which was really fun and very proud of her. So afterwards, we went to dinner. And for the first time in 15 years, I saw my ex. She actually came to dinner with us. So it was me, Mrs. P, PBJ, and my ex. Believe it or not, we actually had a good time. No old animosity or anything like that. It was good. We caught up, talked a little bit, kind of felt bad for my daughter because that's kind of how the conversation went. And she was just kind of a spectator on the side. It was supposed to be her celebratory dinner. But okay, you get there. And sometimes fences can be mended. No problem. But again, nobody else in the restaurant was affected whatsoever by our decision. Nobody else in the hotel was affected by our decision. Whatever, that was it. But let's take a look at the presidential race. Now, Donald Trump has Mary Trump, who doesn't like him. Okay, but Mary Trump isn't exactly a stable person. Let's put it that way. So I'm not overly worried. RFK, even though he's out, okay, but he's endorsed Trump. Uh, his whole family last week put out a memo saying he was a disgrace to the family, whatever it was, because he was endorsing Donald Trump, because the rest of the Kennedy family is not smart enough to think. They just see Democrat and don't realize that Kamala Harris and JFK and RFK have about as much in common as apples and oranges. Okay? I mean, it ain't the same Democrat Party as it was 60 years ago when JFK was president. So then you look at Kamala Harris. Well, okay, she doesn't get along with her father. She doesn't speak to her father. And apparently that's all because of a joke she made one time about her Jamaican ancestry, even though she keeps going on and trying to explain how she's black. She jokes about it in her family that, it's like an embarrassment to her. Okay. But, hey, when we go out and give a speech, we can use our uh, inner city accent, if you will. So we'll talk about it that way when, we'll agree with it when it's beneficial to us. And then you look at Tim Walz, and Tim Walz is no different. Tim Walz doesn't get along with his family to the point where his brother has come out and said, quote, he's not the type of character you want making decisions. Okay. Now see, this is where the difference comes in, because their relationships with their family do affect the lives of other people, because they are going to make decisions that affect you and affect me. This is why we prep, because not only is the country completely dysfunctional at this point, so are most families. And y'all know it. You guys can probably give me just as many stories as I can give you about chaos within the gene pool in your family, about people that get along, people that don't get along. There aren't many people that I know that don't have somebody who's a black sheep. Now, because of what we do, prepping, a lot of us are the black sheep in the family because the family will say, oh, gee, we don't agree with what you do. You're paranoid. You're a conspiracy theorist. You're a Trump supporter. You're a deplorable, a Neanderthal, whatever. No, it's called common sense. We've talked about this. Prepping is no different than buying car insurance or life insurance or home insurance. It's just chaos insurance. And in 2 months, a little more than two months and a week, we're going to know how much that chaos insurance is really needed. Because should the cackling hen and the moron get elected, we all know taxes are going up. The border is going to be broken wide open. Americans will be relegated to second-class citizens in our own country because illegals will have more rights than we will. And then we're going to look back and go, holy crap, how did it get there? How did it get there? It's pretty simple. We keep running people, potentially electing people who hate this country. Barack Obama hated this country. I mean, he practically said it, that the people are not capable of making decisions in their own lives. Joe Biden was just totally incompetent, and Kamala Harris is worse than Joe Biden. But they can't make a decision either. She can't figure out which side of the bread to put, which side of the toast to put the butter on. Do you want people like this making decisions? Any, okay? I mean, I don't want them making decisions on what color to paint the restroom at the local gas station, because somehow, some way, they'll screw it up. But this is what we have. And when it comes down to family, somebody's going to have to make the decision. Somebody's going to have to be a leader. Somebody's going to have to tell other people in the family, yes, you're welcome, or no, you're not. It's not as easy as you think. We all have different dynamics with other people. There are friends I have that I trust 1,000 times more than any of my blood relatives. And I guess you guys probably have the same situation. It comes down to the old saying of keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer, because somehow, some way, you're going to have to mend some of those old fences just for pure survival. Pinball out.